Yo, it is Stocks and Bars, the stock market hip hop podcast where we talk about everything financial and mix it with hip hop. And this time we're going to be talking about what happened between Conway and Funk Flex. And then we're going to talk about those stocks. Let's go. I got my clique ready to use the money they got from jobs, encouraging, teaching them that it's not so hard. I'm doing this, making investing pop. You law, it's X-tro. You tuning in to Stocks and Bars. Yo, it is Stocks and Bars, the hip-hop edition. And you know I got my man DJ Step One with me. And as always, anytime he comes on the show, I gotta give him an introduction, man. This is his third, fourth time on here, but still we got intro time. But check it. This guy I just spent some quality time with when I went up to Soundbender. He continues to amaze me with his work ethic. He grinds out, he does his job, he comes home and does what he's got to do again, goes right back out the door and heads to what he loves doing. And he has started something phenomenal in hip hop, which I think is going to be fantastic. I think what you're doing is awesome, man. Being able to bring to the community the art of DJing, because a lot of people don't really know what it takes to be a DJ, and Soundbender is something that is going to revolutionize what people know about DJing. So I congratulate you on all of your hard work, brother. I appreciate you, and thank you again for coming on the Stocks and Bars. And now let's get into the hip hop edition, man. What's going on, Steph?
What's good, man? Thank you for that nice intro. X-tro, appreciate
Always.
that. Definitely good to see you there.
Yeah, man. It was
turntables.
Yeah. I got, and believe it or not, that was my first time like on the digital vinyl. You know, I got my little mixer that I got here, but I've never been on the digital
vinyl.
Yeah. So it was interesting, and the bug bit me, and I might have to start looking into some gear in order to really do something else, you know, just on the side, just for myself at home.
If you're gonna get something and you want something all in one, depending on your budget, the controller to get is the Rain DJ Rev 1, I think it's called.
Rev 1, okay.
Yeah, I just got him a nice endorsement. It's a controller. It's got small little vinyls on it, but you get this spinning control of a vinyl record. You don't got to worry about, you know, carrying a whole bunch of stuff. It's all right there for you.
And with those, do you get to plug directly into what you told me, like BPM Supreme or any other source like that? That's a DJ record pool?
No, you don't get no DJ record pool come with it.
Okay.
Now, what you can do, which is something I don't do because I like to actually have my music, but you can like subscribe to like Tidal. Tidal can do a direct stream into Serato.
Okay.
But the internet go out, you out of music.
Yeah, you're done, yeah. You got to make sure you have the top-notch tier programs and policies and going on with your internet provider. So
yeah, that's a good backup plan. It's not a good...
Yeah, to depend
somewhere
on.
Somebody want to hear a song and you were like, I should probably play that song. Tidal might have it where you might be here like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah. All right, so this one has been a while in the making here. We've been dancing around each other's schedules because everybody's been doing something, and here we are. Now, in this hip-hop edition, we're going to talk about something that's been hot lately, and we both understand both sides of the coin here, and this is concerning the whole thing going on with Conway and Funk Flex. Now, recently, Conway has went out against Funk Flex because of some comments that Flex made on Wallow's podcast. Wallow had asked him about, you know, Griselda and what he thought about him. And Funk Flex, I'm paraphrase, he said he digs him, he feels him, but he personally does not listen to them. All right, so that's where the dig starts, and from that spun commentary back and forth to where we are right now, where both sides have been, you know, firing off shots, you know, about that comment, period. You know, so as a DJ, Conway felt he shouldn't have made something like that. So here we are. I used to be an artist, still kind of am an artist. You are a DJ. and have, other people in your realm that still DJ. So how do you feel about Flex's comments on what he said about Conway and Griselda?
So that's interesting. I think that, and I probably need to listen to the actual podcast because I can tell Flex, his tone probably is what kind of set Conway off.
Yeah.
It's cool to be honest, but you shouldn't be honest to the point, like the truth doesn't always have to hurt.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you could tell the truth without being offensive to people. Now, to be real, a lot of rappers are sensitive, but
this is true. This is true.
I think the thing is, like, if I had to guess, hearing how Flex said it, I'm pretty sure he said it very aggressive. We know how Flex is, to the point where it just came off like, yo, he just completely did on. It'd be different if you was like, yo, do you mess with Griselda's music? And I'm like, yeah, I think they live and cool like that, but I don't sometimes listen to that at my home, which is the only place you would really listen to it, like home, a little bit of the car. You're not playing that in the club, but I don't listen to it all the time. It's not my cup of tea, but I do respect what they doing, etc. But if you come off super aggressive, like, but I don't play that, like,
yeah. To add on to that, so what you just said, something that Flex actually did say, they don't make records for the club. That's basically what Flex was, really standing his ground on, was that, I like them, I like what they're doing, but they don't make records for the club, so I really can't vibe with it and stuff like that. Once again, I'm paraphrasing, but he said exactly what you said, which is they don't make it for the club. And Conway is like, play it in the club if you want to. You are a caliber DJ that can make a decision like that, but you choose not to play that in the club, is what Conway's response was. So what do you think about
okay, so
response?
This is where I disagree with Conway.
Yeah.
They don't. There's a point in time where, depending on where you're at, and I think this is something that artists don't really recognize or realize, is that yes, there are certain songs that might not be quote unquote club records that you can play, but those aren't, I'm not gonna say few and far between, but they're not commonplace. And those songs have to get to a point where just so many people know them. Like as a DJ, my number one thing, honestly, is not to break records. As weird as that sounds, especially now in the internet age, because you don't really need a DJ to break records.
Right.
My number one job is to keep that crowd moving, keep that crowd entertained. So if you playing a Kanye record or Conway the Machine or any type of Griselda record at the club during a peak time, you're gonna kill the crowd because it's not danceable. And sometimes the lyrics, especially when you're too lyrical, it goes over their head. The club is like a common denominator of music.
Yeah.
So even
it's the
like
equalizer.
You get what I'm saying? Like people, even if you go deep at a hip hop party, there's only like you can't go, like I can't play like a Doom record.
Yeah, that's too far off.
It's too far deep. And then even though like Kanye and Griselda is mainstream, I didn't understand this at first, but now that I understand it now, I'm older DJ, is that I used to be like, yo, I wish people would listen to some like Nas, but you at the wrong club if Nas is playing, or it's got to be certain nights. Like if we doing a poetry night, I'm gonna play some Nas. Yeah. But if I'm in the middle of downtown and this girl came here, to dance, she don't want to dance to.
She not here.
I know I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She ain't trying to get inspired.
Yeah. Same thing with Griselda, because it's like Throwy's Revenge and stuff like that. Like I like these records, but even if you think about the producers, they get, like the producers they get are not producers that make club bangers, club records. They're not to dance to. Griselda is something that you listen to and chill. Griselda is something that you play, which is early in the night. Same thing with Freddie Gibbs. Like I'll mess with Gibbs. I actually think that Benny the Butcher's album is probably it's a tie between that, or I would pretty much say a second, album of the year to the Kendrick album.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but that's not something that I'm up here like,
I'm gonna spend that tonight when I get out.
Like you.
Yeah.
My thing is to the crowd. Like, it's to the crowd, because at the end of the day, if that crowd don't move, I'm getting fired.
Right. So I think there's two different avenues here as far as something that the caliber that Funk Flex got, right? There's two different avenues he can go here. So yeah, he can't go to the club and play a Griselda record, right? Mm-hmm. But when he's on a radio, there's times where he could get a Griselda record in, because he can put sets in that work that way, right? And I think that's part of the complaint, is when they were up and coming, they're not getting the support from New York radio or New York DJs, because they're not trying to play their stuff. And me personally, as an artist too, I'm a side with Flex on this, because for the club side of things, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're not making any club songs, then I can't play your record in there. Now, to add to what Conway was talking about, he was saying, if we not making any club records, and you the veteran DJ and you really feel us, put us on game. Like, link us up with the people that you feel like can help push us in that direction, so you can get us to open up on this side or whatever. You know, that's what Conway was saying in his like second rebuttal to the whole situation. I know in the
second he was basically saying like he just didn't like the fact how he voiced his opinion.
Yeah, you're right. It was the first one. Yeah. So his first rant, he was talking about that, where, you know, put me on something if you feel like I can do a little better, then help me out, basically, you know. Uh-huh. And then the second one, he was basically like, yeah, we talk behind the scenes and all that. There ain't no smoke, all of this, you know. Still a little heated, you know, letting some steam off. But he was saying, we don't need y'all. We made it this far, but he was basically trying to say, I'm falling on the sword for the guys behind me that's really trying to get on. Now, I'm no longer in that situation, but you can help. And, you know, he called him a gatekeeper and all that, and we can talk about that too. But
you know what's interesting? Rosenberg had I like to like watch some of the Hot 97 stuff on.
Yeah.
And then you from New York, so you know, like Hot 97 was like, that was the main station, and then
the station, yeah.
And I think
that a kiss.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I think Power 105. I don't know if it completely took over New York. I know the Breakfast Club is worldwide, you know what I mean? But I think for New Yorkers, once the Breakfast Club go off, I think they still listening to Hot 97. I don't know if I'm correct or not, but I think I heard that somewhere. But the thing is with Hot 97, and what going to Rosenberg said something before, I believe it's automatically true. He said, like, look, if you want to be a rapper, just a rapper, and you want to make a decent living being a rapper, maybe you get to six figures, you know, low six figures or whatever. You can be a rapper just from being on the internet. You'll do some shows, you know, region. Think of like somebody like a Sky Zoo.
Yeah.
Or a Rock Marciano or something like that. Like you know what I mean? Like these dudes that go around, even actually Action Bronson would be like the top end of that.
Yeah.
But he
got
said,
a TV show out of it.
if you want to be like known and famous and rich, like super rich, then you still need radio. So if you want to be like on the baby level, little baby level, medium baby level, whatever, you're not gonna get a lot of babies now, but if you want to be like Drake or J. Cole or something like that, you have to have radio singles.
Got to have that exposure.
Yeah, you got to have club singles. You got to have stuff like that. Like you have to have these records that these hit records. And the thing, especially coming back DJing, like hit records, it's interesting. Hit records are kind of few and far between now, and they don't last as long as they used to.
No,
because they get oversaturated. Because if you think about it from before, if you had a hit record like, this is so weird that this is a record. Let's say something like a record like Ain't I, which is like a hip hop record. Before you just had to listen to it. You either listen to it on the radio, you burnt the CD, and then, or you got to download the thing and put it on your iPod. And then, sometimes you have your iPod with you, sometimes you don't. Where now you have access through your phone to a whole streaming thing. So the minute you hear a hit song, you hearing it on radio, and now you're hearing it on your phone. So it's overplayed by the time that. So it's just to the point where, to get
shelf life is shorter now.
Yeah. To tie it back into the Conway thing is like, yo, one thing that about y'all will have more longevity than somebody that's making like a record like a Throat Baby or something like that. Like, I don't know if you remember that song that came out last year or 2 years ago or something like that. Those songs don't last as long because, one, like I just said with the hits, but y'all have more longevity because it's actually a good thing that I don't hear you on the radio.
On the radio.
Because now I'm not oversaturated with you.
I gotta go find you now.
I gotta go find you. And like, I like Griselda. I like what they do. I think Benny is dope. I think Conway is dope.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think both of them is dope. Yeah. Every Benny album that come out, man, it's like, to be honest, he actually probably got maybe a few joints that could play in the club, and it's not like club bouncy, but it's like Nas Made You Look. I feel like that's something that you could play in the club that's not going to get too rowdy, that's actually going to still, get somebody to move. I think Benny got a few joints that's like that.
Club record. Probably, you know what I mean? Like, it's a decent amount of people here. You play something and somebody might come up and be like, yo, what's that? Is they not gonna be like 10 crack or 10 more crack commandments is
they ain't gonna come ask for that.
But I think the thing is with Flex, it's interesting because Flex is to go to the original comment, Flex is a gatekeeper.
Yes.
And his opinion does matter. And that's what I do agree with Conway on that. Like, yo, your opinion matters. So you have to be careful with how you spew your opinion. You should be able to say your opinion, but how you spew it to people, if you spew it instead of tell it into people, you end up in a situation where people will take that the wrong way. It's just like, when and especially now, because everybody shares their opinion on music, think about the problem Eminem had with Joe Budden, or the problem Drake had with Joe Budden. And it's because of the way he shares his opinion.
Yeah.
If he was like, yo, I'm not feeling this album, I think he could have came harder. But when the veins start popping out of the head and all that stuff, yelling and stuff, it's like, yo, I feel like this is more of a personal attack.
Yeah.
So, but you get that sensationalized take, and that take goes viral.
That's all it takes, man.
But,
I agree 100% with Conway on the aspect of he could have definitely just kept that to himself. He could have just left it at, yo, I'm feeling what they do. I dig it. And, I wish them the best. And that's it.
Even if he would have said, even if he said, I'm feeling them, I respect them as artists, what they do, I wish them the best. I'm not personally that much of a fan, but still, mess with what they do. Please.
Yeah,
you can't get mad at it.
No, and there wouldn't have been any heated arguments or none of that, But I feel exactly the way Conway was feeling, because when they've already made it to a level of success that other artists wish to get to. But regardless of that, it was the example of things, right? If he wasn't at that level of success and Flex said something like that, he could really mess up something for him in the future, because if somebody is behind and listening to Flex as the gatekeeper that he is, then he just messed the whole bridge up. Like, it's not coming back. All of a sudden now you accidentally blackballed from something that you really truly wanted to get, and then you can't tap in with Flex. You know what I mean? So it's dangerous, so you can't be using your words like that on a platform that he's on and say things like, nah, I ain't messing with it, and all that. And just let it be, man. Let it be.
And even for Griselda, because the thing is like this, like Griselda is known, but they're not mainstream. So some people that probably listen to Flex that don't even know. Yeah, don't even know. So they like, yo, I'm not gonna listen to him now. And what's interesting about that is you gotta think, like, he's had Conway and Benny doing freestyles.
Benny up there, freestyles, yeah.
So
yeah, they burned it down too on each one.
yeah.
Then on some artist stuff though, they mentioned that they were up there doing that and he wasn't feeling them or something like that, or the energy wasn't right from Flex. Like they expected him to, nod his head a little more or have more of emotion to it. And I'm like, all right, you stretching now, bro.
So
everybody ain't got to feel it that same way.
Real quick, because we a little bit past the halfway point of the year, what's your top hip hop album of the year?
Top hip hop album. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I haven't really tapped in on my YouTube. So I got YouTube Music, right? Mm-hmm. And I got it for the premise that every Friday I would listen to stuff. And I haven't, my schedule, I just haven't really tapped my ears into anything. But I will say I did listen to Premier's joint that just came out last Friday, the Hip Hop 50. And I thought that was pretty good. I had to take, and it's interesting because I have not listened to this album that much, but it's a reason why. I think Kendrick so far got the album of the year. Okay.
I definitely think it's a classic album, which I don't throw away around word classic, but it's classic.
No, you don't.
Yeah, it's classic in a way that like 12 Years a Slave is a classic movie.
Okay.
Meaning like it's the subject matter is so deep that you don't be like, yo, I'm about to chill. What you about to watch? 12 Years a Slave. There's certain movies that you just don't watch over and over again. Like it could be a top movie for you, like Schindler's List. Like Schindler's List is hard to watch. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar's album is hard to listen to. So
you gotta really be in the mood to check that out.
Yeah, because it's so deep and it's so, he touching on subject matters from transgender to his dad to this, to his sex addiction, to sexual assault, to child molestation. Like, all right, it's deep. My second album, I was rocking with, I'm still rocking with, is that Benny the Butcher, 10 Year Talk 4.
I did hear that. Of course I heard that one, yeah. That came out this year?
Yeah, it came out.
I'm so behind. Okay.
I think it came out like in March officially.
All right.
Let me get that date.
I did listen to that. That one was in my playlist. 10 Year Talk 4 was definitely on there. So many albums.
2022. Yeah, it came out in March.
Okay, so it came out. All right.
So, they drop, and it's so much music that drop now that is hard.
Listen,
yeah,
that's my thing. Like I got to the point where I needed YouTube Music to tell me what's coming out, because I'll be sitting here and like, how did I get 5 albums behind? Like Currency would drop, and he would drop again, and all of a sudden I'm like, how am I 3 Currency albums behind now?
Yeah.
And I love it, but at the same time it's frustrating because I'm like, all right, I got to find the time to sit here
and listen to the album.
And listen to it, yeah. Because when I like to consume, right? Mm-hmm. I don't like to just have something in the background for me. When I want to sit down, like the Kendrick album, okay? Like after we get off this podcast, whatever, put my girls to sleep, I could come down here and just, throw something on and just vibe, just be like, all right, and listen to what he's talking about. Because as an artist, I know when I put stuff together, I'm talking about something. I'm not just throwing something together just to, fast food you, right? I'm trying to make sure that I put a meal in your ears so all right, I feel it, and you listen to it and you run it back. I'm from that era, we listen to lyrics, so I'm trying to hear what you're talking about. Because to me, that matters. If you can have a good beat, okay, and even back then, if the beat was subpar or whatever, but if I know you spit, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna make sure that why we had to do that to Cannabis, man. Cannabis is raw, man.
Yeah, that's why. But the beats was terrible.
Oh yeah, they were terrible, unfortunately. But he had bars though.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If you have content, my ears is ready for that. Yeah. Because as you know, as we've talked about, everything's oversaturated. It's easy for me to hear something 55 times in 1 hour
Yeah.
Very simple. And back then, you only had maybe 2 different outlets for where you can hear that, and that was on the radio, or if you bought the disc yourself and you played it in whatever machinery that you had to play it in.
Yeah. Like even if you think about it in terms of like the iPod, like the iPod came and like revolutionized music.
Right.
But it was a separate device. So you might not have it with you all the time. And you had to upload songs to it.
Yeah, that was a pain.
Yeah, it was a pain. But the thing is, like the songs and you uploaded was the songs that you really wanted to listen to, that you really liked. And you had to take time out your day. So if a new song came out and you might not upload it to your iPod for 2 or 3 weeks, just because you're forgetting, you busy, you got, in our case, we had class, maybe, okay, now I'm gonna upload it, listen to it, etc. Now you don't have to worry about anything like that. And you just be like, I just plugged in my phone, like, okay, this came out, I'm about to go listen to I'm gonna listen to the premiere.
Or you ain't even gotta do anything. You just say, hey Google, or Siri, or whatever, and then that's it. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even said that. My phone, like, what you want?
Yeah, exactly. Like, all right.
What you want, sir?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just everything is so ready and available at the touch of a button, that especially since music is so easy to consume, because it's different between a movie. Because even though a movie is available at the touch of a button, I still have to take the time to watch it.
Right.
Like most of the time, you can have a movie on for background noise, which some people do, but if you got a movie on for background noise, most of the time you've watched it already.
You watched it already. Yeah. You consumed it already. Yeah. So it's, it's a smell now in the back. Like, that smell good. Yeah. That's it now.
Let me stop what I'm doing, watch my favorite scene. I was on my phone. Oh, okay. This is my scene right here. You go back. But with music, it can consistently be like that.
Yeah.
You can consistently just have music on the background, cleaning the house, talking to somebody. You got music on, playing video games and stuff like that. You have paying attention to it, and then it's just so readily available that you could, especially if you like a song, you're like, I didn't heard this song 15 times today, and you don't even realize, like, you played it 10 times yourself. Now you mad it's on the radio. So
let's bring it to this point here. So, has music lost its value? Has it lost its value? And we can say that because we're talking about basically inflation. We're talking about music in an inflationary point where it is so abundant that it doesn't mean anything to anyone anymore right now. My daughter can go anywhere in this house and ask a device to play the song she wants right now. And she will do that. And you know what she'll do after that? She'll listen to it for a little bit and she'll walk off into another room and just be playing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or she'll listen to it and she'll really like what she's listening to. And before it's over, she'll ask it to play it again, right? And she'll do that maybe, 3, 4, maybe a handful of times. And then she'll go off somewhere else and then go play Barbies or whatever. So has music lost its value?
I think that's a great question. And that's something that, has music lost its value? You want to say no, but the answer might be yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, especially from like a marketplace standpoint, there's so much oversaturation. It's not going to stop because you got all these different services. You got Apple Music. If you don't got Apple Music, you got Spotify, you got Tidal, all this other stuff. So it's an abundance of music that to the point where sometimes it's so much music that sometimes it's hard to find good music. But good music is out there.
Yeah.
It's hard to find it. And then like I was I'm pretty sure you hip to RJ Payne, right?
Yeah. Bars.
Like, me and my one dude was just talking about him, like, he got bars galore, and I still haven't. There was a point in time where if I heard somebody had bars, I was running out. And now keep in mind, I'm about to be 38. So it's a little bit different.
I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
But even when I think about it, like, I would say it's lost its value. I don't know. It's not valueless. It's just lost its value from where it was. Because even if you think about it, there's so many abundance of festivals right now. like you got Coachella, you got Made in America, you got, Summer Jam, you got Power 105 concert, I'm probably missing about 47,000
something going on every time.
Lollapalooza, you got South by Southwest, you have all these different things, all these different festivals, where back in the day, like you had different festivals, with the main one that everybody knew that was so revolutionary was Woodstock.
Yeah.
Then you had Lollapalooza. And then you would have, like, Summer Jam, but you got so many different concerts and so many different festivals and stuff like that, that if you miss one person there, more than likely they'll show up at another concert.
Yeah.
Not their own concert, but they'll show up on another lineup with 14,000 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's interesting how far music has come, because it's moved so fast. And you mentioned, you're almost 40, I am 40, right? And we can talk about how we've seen the evolution of the technology that music has been from. All right, we went from when I grew up, the cassette. All right, I'm not 8-track old, but I'm cassette old, right? Then we saw the transition from the cassette to CDs, and then we saw from CDs to basically iPods and all the MP3 devices.
I had
right?
the Chronic on cassette.
See, I also had it. I had every Mobb Deep album on cassette.
Yeah.
My very first CD that I bought was Big Pun, Capital Punishment.
Okay.
And that was in like 95, and I remember when I bought that. But yeah, we saw cassette, CD, iPod/MP3 player, phone. And then all of a sudden, all of that stuff is phased out. And then there's other mediums in there that we're not even talking about. We're talking about like DAT tapes, mini disc, whatever. Yeah, stuff that didn't even blip the radar. It was like, if you think about it now, 2 years. Like that stuff was on the map for maybe 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And realistically talking, the CD was out from mid to late 90s and then faded away in mid to early 2000s, right? To the point where
I would say 2000, when the iPod, I would give it 2008 through like 10. I'm pretty sure
2008 through 10.
Yeah, because I think for a lot of people, like a lot of people were still selling CDs at a point, like bootleg CDs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we was burning CDs.
Yeah, and like my car still got a CD player in it.
Listen, it still blows me away that cars don't have CD players.
Yeah, like my car, it's a 2014, but it still got a CD player in it.
Yeah, mine is a 2010. I still have a CD player.
Yeah.
I still play CDs in it, but unfortunately for the new music, I'm left out, right? Because technology has went right past me. I can't plug into that. I don't have the connections in order to do that.
Oh, you gotta No, I got the aux and I got the iPod, the Bluetooth connection on the radio through the car. I don't have the CarPlay. Through the CarPlay. So
yeah.
That's
mine. Unfortunately, I need a hard drive. That's how like early inceptionized that the car is. That I needed an external hard drive to plug in and put music on in order for it to read. It don't read directly from my phone. Yo, I'm pretty sure somebody making fun of me right now, but whatever.
Yeah.
My car paid off. That's all that matters to me.
My car paid off too, yeah.
Any day that tops it. Music, what? Car paid off.
Yeah,
beat that.
My car payment goes straight to buying stock.
That's a good transition right there, man. We talking about stocks and bars, right? With the whole Conway and Funk Flex thing, I feel both of them. However, I do feel Conway more on this side because he should have just kept that under the, whatever. You can still show love. Yeah, and not...
You can still voice your opinion, but don't be disrespectful.
Right. You ain't got to jeopardize somebody else's career over your comments of, what they believe in their music or whatever. Because, like, to your point, there's a whole nother fan base that Flex probably is exposed to that don't know anything about Griselda. and now probably may tune off because
Flex
of his comments. You know, he like, I rock with him, I'm not doing that. But anyway, hopefully they iron that out and they make something happen, because, you know, one thing I hate about the hip hop community is how they try to turn us against each other so quickly, right? They try to make this so they try to make beef out of it, right? And even though, you know, Conway's said multiple times, I don't want no smoke, I don't want no smoke, all that, you know, it's very easy to take those words in that context and put it into smoke. You know, it's very easy to spin that and, you know, and get people to play off of it.
You don't want no smoke? Actually, I want. He said he want extra smoke. I just said I didn't want any smoke. Where'd you get extra?
Click bait, all day. So hopefully they iron that out and they make something happen for the hip hop community that's positive. So let's transition this one over to the stocks, right? Stock market. If anybody is not familiar, you know, every single week I'll do my recap on YouTube. Make sure that you check that out. And yeah, I got to get on my shameless plug, man, because I'm terrible at it personally. I do my thing and I really just keep to myself. I'm low key. But now I'm like, yo, listen, check my YouTube out. I'm putting in work. I'm doing it every single week and I'm accurate. So make sure that you check that out. Wincrease Team on YouTube. So shameless plug over. Now let's talk about the stocks. I want to talk about one thing here. Usually we doing the stock versus. I want to get into stock mentality. All right. We got two types of mindsets for people when it comes to stocks. There is the buy and hold crowd and there's the trading crowd, right? So there's one avenue. And then if you are a seasoned trader or investor, there's the buy the dip. All right. And if you are somebody who's looking to get into the market and don't know too much about it, it's simply buy the index. All right. So we're going to talk about both sides of those coins. So let's hit off with buy the dip. Buy the dip, for those people who don't know, is whenever the market goes to some type of low, whether it's a new low or a recent low or whatever, whenever the stock market goes on sale, you buy something. That's buy the dip. So any stocks that you got right now that you are currently doing buy the dip.
Oh yeah. Oh, we talked about this beforehand, so you know. And I've been putting this in the group chat. Amazon and Square.
Just for everybody out there, Amazon is around 110, 112. I don't have it in front of me. Something like that.
Right now. Amazon, because I'm salty. Amazon is at 114.
114. All right. Now I got the phone out. So Amazon closed at 113.76 as of today's date. All right.
After hours, 114.
All right. Yeah. Got to make sure we respect the after hours because it moves.
Yeah.
Cash rules after hours too.
So
Square is at 66.88. Yeah, 66.27 was the close, 66.88, so it's up in the aftermarket. So Steph is buying Amazon and Square. Go ahead.
I think my average price, geek out real quick, my average price on Square is 109, and my average price on Amazon is 109. My average price on Square is 63. So okay. I'm up, but I'm waiting. I'm going to set a level. I'll need to get on my Fibonacci's and set a level of what I'm not going to buy past and consider anything under that a dip.
All right.
But my level is going to be like something. It's not going to be like, I'm not buying after 70. It's going to be like 95 or something like that.
It's going to be something that is really doable that you can buy and average up if you truly need to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I plan on my goal is to get with these two without, and I'm putting new money into it. So this is in a separate account. So it's not in my Ameritrade account. This is actually in my Webull account. My goal is to get this account to get to 100 shares of each.
Okay.
So
I'm with that.
100 shares of each. That way you can start doing what I love to do, which is write calls, write options. So I can make money off my 100 shares.
Right.
Especially with these stocks. So because, the option price is going to be a little bit higher. Obviously, I'm going to go way past resistance, so it might only make like, $25 a week.
$3-4,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but you make it $25 a week. Can't complain off of that when you're not doing nothing but it's at 130 and you put the option, not earnings week, you put it at 160. Like, well, I don't think it's gonna move $30.
Free money.
Yeah. Now I've had scares where it was like it's actually at 159.99. Thank God it calls at this point.
Yeah. Call me away, Calgon.
Yeah, I didn't want to sell these shares, but
all right. So you buying Square and Amazon, not too bad stocks at all. And if anybody wants to get in those,
if I was to get one more, it'd be Disney.
Disney,
Disney
which is around 95. I think.
95.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. For a company that is going to be here forever.
All blue chip stocks.
Listen, they all on sale.
Yeah.
All of them about 50% off.
And this is to go to your point. You are very accurate. Most people just looked at it like, see, I know the stock market wasn't worth investing into, but you see all these sensational headlines, and it's like, yo, I don't know where the bottom is at, but I'm gonna keep buying, and I want it to go lower because this is not like me buying something, and I like DraftKings. This is not DraftKings. These are companies that are making revenue, that have a high net income, that have shown great leadership. You get what I'm saying? Like, like I told people recently at an event, it was a 444 Jay-Z event, and I had told people there recently, I'm like, hey, right now we're at, damn near 2008 levels. If not at 2008 levels, you should be buying some sort of stock. I'm like, does anybody think Square, Cash App? How many of y'all use Cash App? Raise a hand. Everybody raise their hand. It's like, do you think that's going away anytime soon? Because it's not.
Right. It's here.
Yeah, you use it all the time. You use it so much that it's turned into a word.
Yeah, Cash App.
Cash App.
Yeah.
Not even give me cash. Cash App. So why would you not be trying to get as many shares as possible of that?
This is a good point. For anybody who's listening, this is a good point. It's part of your culture right now.
Yeah. Like, when words, it's just like, oh, I'm about to Google it. You know what I mean? Like, once words start entering the lexicon, and you see this company is for sale, and it's so far off the highs, and you see everything. It's just not that it dropped itself. Everything else it dropped.
Yeah,
probably be copping it.
Yeah, this is a good stock for people who want to get into the market and have no idea. I tell a lot of people the easiest way to get involved in the market is to buy things that you already are familiar with. That's it. Just get something that you already know, that you go get, that your friend got, that your friend's friend got. You got it around your house. They got it around their house. That's a no-brainer. Just buy the stock, figure it out, what the ticker is, and get you some shares. And to what you were saying earlier about the bottom, listen, as good as I am at this, I can call bottoms. I'm not going to lie. I've called bottoms, all right? But ultimately, calling a bottom is something that comes with, some type of experience. Most people aren't going to be able to do that. So throw that out of the window. Don't try to call bottoms because you can lose a lot of money doing it. Just get into the stock at viable levels. That's all you got to do. You do that, you're setting yourself up for success all the time. Prior episode, I talked about Pinterest. And at that time, I think Pinterest was trading around like 37 or 35 or so. And in that episode, I even said, this could go lower. And if it goes lower, the next best point to buy at is around $20. That's what I said. And here we are. Pinterest is still trading around like the $20.
25%.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, man. Buying at the best levels that you can get it at. Don't buy it at them dummy levels. Buy as close to the best level as you possibly can. And that's going to be one of the best defenses that you'll ever have for any portfolio that you build. So, you had talked about stocks that you buy on the dip. One stock that I'm looking to buy, hopefully that will dip again, is which is Realty Income. And this is a REIT play. And for those who don't know what a REIT is a real estate investment trust. And each one of these give you a dividend on some specific interval. O is one that gives you a dividend every month. And it's not like a big chunky dividend or anything, but it's something. And that's all you really need to do, especially in the land of inflation. Any money that comes back to you for you doing nothing is beautiful. So I have an average price of 65 is what I'm looking at right now. 65.75 is my average price. And I'm looking to get below that, obviously, as much as possible. I would love to get in closer to 60 if it does dip to that level. So O is what I'm currently adding to my portfolio as the dip happens. So that's buy the dip. Now let's talk about buy the index. A lot of people like you and I, well, a lot of people are not like you and I is what I meant to say, where we can identify companies that are around. Okay, I got, my mouse, right? Logitech. Everybody might have a Logitech something, right? You have a keyboard, mouse, something technical around your computer is going to be something Logitech of. What? This is right here. I got a Logitech cam that I'm pointing at, right? All of that stuff. Auxiliary stuff for your computer, right? I don't know if they have a ticker, but that's something that you can look at, right? You can go to Google and say, does Logitech have a stock? And you can take it from there. But if you don't want to do individual companies, there are indexes, right? And that's something that I also tell people.
$53.64 for Logitech.
Logitech, what's the ticker? I'm going to guess. LOGI?
Yep.
Okay. I did guess it. All right. So Logitech is probably almost 50% off from where it was at if I'm going to take a stab at it.
Oh, no, it's a little bit more than 50. But
okay.
Yeah.
All right. But still, that's oof. Good grief. Logitech fell from the high was 140.17. So, yeah, that's a hefty discount, and it can easily fall down to 40. All right, that's a little technical analysis for you quickly. Now, index stocks, for anybody who's not, technically savvy or too scared to buy an individual stock, you can get index stocks, right? You can buy the SPY, VOO, stuff like that. And those are somewhat like ETFs where they are a conglomerate of different stocks, and you can own and have diversification just with one stock. And having that index can be a safe haven. So when you do have wild rides and wild swings going on in the market, you don't have to worry about it as much because that one index has everything in it and they're all fighting against each other. And either one's going to be super up and the other one's going to be down and they're going to even out, or you don't have to worry about it too much where they all go up at once and you get a decent return. So that's
what's your favorite index?
My favorite index is SPY, hands down. It's very liquid. There's always shares available. It's, emulating the S&P, which is, in my opinion, the biggest index, the best index to follow. It's the top companies. And having SPY is a great way to enter into the market. Right now, it's at like $388, I think is what it was at last time. I'm dating myself for when it was up at record highs. SPY is currently at 381.95 and up in the aftermarket right now. So that's SPY for those who want to get in. Those are the two right there. Buy the index, buy the dip. Both of those are very simple strategies in order to get involved in the stock market at any point in time. Get some exposure in the market, especially at these levels right now. Everybody was always, if this, if that, if in 2008 I would have bought this and all that. And even when COVID happened, the market's going down. It can go down lower. Listen, scared money don't make money. get involved in the market. All you need to do is put a little bit of capital into it. You don't need to throw your whole house payment in there. Just make sure you get something. Steph had, talked about making $25 a week off of selling calls. Listen, yo, I'm telling you, money compounds, all right? I started in this game making $25 a week. This is real talk here. I started in options selling, okay, on Netflix spreads. I was selling bull put spreads, trying to make a simple $25 a week. That's all I was doing, because in my head, I knew if I can do that every week, I'll make $200 a month. That was the goal. $200 a month. That's how I got into this game, man.
Hey, man, you was trying 50?
No, oh yeah, 50. You're right. I started off in this game selling at, what was it? 250 spreads, right? So I'm getting technical here. Anyway, I'm selling it off in order to make $50 back every single week is all I was doing. Trying to find a strategy so when Netflix was going up, that I made money as long as it stayed up. And being consistent on that helped me grow my capital every single month doing that. And that's how I started, man, making measly money. Measly. And to somebody right now listening is like, yo, I wish I made $50 a week. Well, you could do it. You can certainly do it. The market is out here for you, man. It's waiting for you. You just got to make sure you got the right strategy and patience.
Yeah,
and it's there for you.
The thing is this. I mean, you just got a free $50 a week. Like, you would be, there's a lot of people that would get a raise of like, $1 and wouldn't even a day and would be extremely happy. I mean, $1 an hour and be extremely happy because they just got another $1 an hour and would not even hit that $50 a week if they worked 40 hours.
Yeah.
So
that's good perspective right there. Especially because I was one of those cats that was, making an hourly wage at the time. And I figured I got to get out of this rat race because I'm about to die.
Yeah.
I'm going to die and they're going to wheel me off and somebody going to get filled in my seat 2 weeks later.
And they're not going to even care.
No, I ain't going to get no plaque on the wall, none of that. They about to just be like, Dwayne who?
Yeah, exactly.
That was going to be it. My kid's going to be sad. Yeah. Somebody else going to be doing that job. That's how I felt. So the market is ready for anybody. All right. I think we're good, Steph. What you think, man?
I think this is good. I think this is a good episode, man. I'm glad my schedule kind of calmed down a little bit, so I had a little more time. So I got to set up the liquidity club, and then I don't know what else to say, but yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, thank you for always getting on here, man. Talking hip hop is great, but I love mixing it back to the stock market. This is a conversation that I feel like us as brothers, us as our communities, we need to have more of, man. We definitely need to be opening up this rhetoric and this playbook and saying, yo, what you think about XYZ stock or whatever. Some people still hit me up, and unfortunately right now I think we are in the infancy stage of things, and we're still programmed for the get rich quick schemes, all right? And I think that's something that's going to take a little bit time to flush out of the system. People really need to understand that this game is built on time, and the day trades, the penny stocks, the things that we constantly face, where somebody made $10,000 off of AMC and all that stuff. Listen, that happens, it does, but it's not realistic. And I'm going to tell people that as much as possible. Yeah, you can hit some home runs, no doubt about it, but it's the base hits
that matter the most.
It's the base hits. You got to always stay in the game. You keep trying to swing, next thing you know, you lose every single game, and you can't do that. So yeah, man.
Real quick, last. Yeah. I saved that for next time, because I know somebody that was up 6 figures on AMC, and I don't think they sold.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a whole podcast of prayers.
Yeah.
We gotta set some kumbayas for him. He's probably still hurting on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hurting. That hurt me right there. Like, good grief. 6
man.
figures gone, evaporated, and you didn't get a chance to taste none of that honey.
Nah. just got a chance to look at it.
Yeah, it looked good on wax.
Yeah.
But that bank account ain't with it.
All bad. I get it.
All right, brother. I appreciate you coming on, man. So until the next hip hop episode, and Soundbender, I want to make sure that I plug that, man. Soundbender, I love the concept of it. I look forward to it growing and seeing what you can build with that, man. And if there's any way that I can help contribute to that, let me know, and I'll be a vessel, brother.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, you take it easy.
All right, yup, you too.
Peace.